Oh, it is way too quiet up in here. Nah, yeah, I'll sub you back in a moment. Just hold on. Let me. You told me I would be alright. Your corruption is like a sorrow inside. You hold no word in apology. You've been all your life, the truth is. Face yourself with another day. You sure you subscribed to me? Because I only got 24 subscribers right so far. I don't have 25. You sure you subscribed to me? Because I only got 20. I'm watching my live stream. I don't see anyone. Community. Oh wait, here we go. Oh, there we go. 25 subscribers now. Well, who's all subscribing to me? Let me check my subscriptions. Wait, what was that? Top 10 movies, what now? Oh. Ooh. What's this?
Everyone loves Taco Bell's iconic Crunch Wrap, and once again, we're taking that love to new heights. The one that got away is back in a big way. The bigger, beefier, triple-double Crunch Wrap.
Oh,
Only at Taco
shit.
Bell.
Damn.
People have died in our parks! Come on in! Disneyland and Disney World are known as the happiest places on Earth. Traveling there is the goal of countless families who want to visit a place of pure joy. But they aren't all that they seem to be. In fact, they hold a few dark secrets. Secrets that Disney would definitely prefer that you did not know. So, allow me to tell you exactly what those are. Here are 10 secrets Disney theme parks don't want you to know. Number 1 is people have died there. Even the happiest place on Earth has its dark days. And believe it or not, since the first Disney theme park opened in Anaheim, California on July 17, 1955, there have been many deaths at parks around the world. Now, a lot of people have died from pre-existing health conditions, but there have also been a number of freak accidents and ride malfunctions that have claimed the lives of both park guests and employees. Now, the stats are kept pretty quiet, but what we do know is that between 2005 and 2006, there were at least 4 reported deaths and 19 injuries at just the Florida parks. The first ever reported death at Disneyland happened in May of 1964 when 15-year-old Mark Maples fell out of the Matterhorn bobsleds when he stood up in his seat. On February 14, 1999, a custodian was killed when he fell 40 feet from a platform on the Fantasyland Skyway. This after a cast member activated the lift without anybody knowing about it. This led to the ride being shut down permanently later that same year. Number 2 are feral cats. Here's a disturbing fact for you. At Disneyland in California, there's an estimated 100 feral cats wandering the park. Have fun! When the cats first started prowling around, many workers wanted to get rid of them, but it turns out having a ton of cats hanging around is basically free pest control, since they were hunting all the mice and rats that were knocking at Mickey's door, which is super ironic if you think about it. That in and of itself was reason enough to let them just hang around, apparently. But in all fairness, the streetwise alley cats are able to keep their freedom, and Disney does in fact make sure that they're healthy and taken care of. It's now official park policy to make sure that all the cats are tagged, vaccinated, and neutered. Generally speaking, they stay away from the guests and only come out at night when the park is empty. But that's generally speaking. You don't want some feral cat to walk up to you and be like, and now you have a disease. Thanks, Disney. Number 3 are undercover cops. Have you ever been to one of the Disney parks and felt as if someone was watching you? And I don't just mean all those giant Baloos and Goofies wandering around. Well, it turns out you're feeling that way because someone probably is. In fact, there are countless security guards wandering through the grounds, even though you can't see them. The majority of these guards are undercover and are blending in by wearing plain clothes and accessories, including random souvenirs any guest could grab from kiosks and stores within the park. And obviously, they dress this way so they can keep an eye on everyone without being noticed or causing any alarm. That way, if anyone decides to do something against the park rules, like for example, get drunk and start punching Goofies, or, steal something from the stores, the plainclothes cops can start cracking skulls. It takes a lot of work to keep everything Hakuna Matata. Number 4 are smellitzers. If you've ever been to a busy theme park in the middle of the summer with hundreds of people walking around, eating and sweating, you know that air isn't exactly yummo. But the folks of Disney have figured that out. They've created and patented something called air smellitzers. The smellitzers are hidden everywhere and fill the air with pleasant smells that match the locations in the park. Some of the smells include freshly baked cookies on Main Street, USA, citrus and pine trees in the Soarin' ride, and fresh sea air at the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. They even have a musty old boiler room smell for the Tower of Terror. And the site-specific scents do more than just make something that should smell funky smell fresh. They also get you in the spirit of wherever you are in the kingdom. Their hope is that you'll buy something like delicious cookies or spend more time in the park to feel like you're really relaxing by the ocean. Leave it to Disney to figure out a way to keep you smiling and buying when actually you're surrounded by nasty, nasty smell. Number 5 are underground tunnels. Like any great place of magic and mystery, Disney World in Orlando, Florida is full of secret hidden underground tunnels. But the magic kind of stops there. The tunnels are actually called utilidors, short for utility corridors. And while it's the largest system of its kind in the world, they're actually used for a rather unpleasant job. That job is keeping garbage collection away from the guests. And the tunnels get really hot and smelly, as you would imagine. And what's worse, unfortunately for cast members, they have to use them too. In order to keep the kingdom feeling magical, Walt Disney decided that it should be designed so that cast members in costume wouldn't be seen in parts of the park that they were out of place in. The idea actually came to Walt Disney when he was in the original Disneyland in California and saw a cowboy walking around Tomorrowland. Yeah, not exactly the magical immersive experience he was going for. Number 6 is autograph training. Autograph training is a serious part of the job. Character signatures must stay the same at all times. In fact, they have extremely strict guidelines that they have to follow. If is able to start interacting with guests, they are thoroughly trained on how to write their character's autograph, which they have to keep practicing until it can be done perfectly at any moment. Anyone playing the character in question must keep a similar signature. Consistency is the key at the Magic Kingdom, which makes sense. You don't want 2 people dressing as Ariel giving 2 completely different signatures. That would just destroy the magic. And if you're wondering, it's not just park-wide, it's internationally too. You could go to any Disney theme park in the world and all of the characters will have the exact same autograph. Trust me, people have actually compared them. Number 7 are no selfies are allowed. Despite getting their picture taken hundreds of times a day, cast members are forbidden from taking pictures of themselves in costume and sharing them on social media. Which, again, makes sense. There's not a whole lot of magic in seeing a Snapchat of Aladdin in a pair of Uggs halfway through a burrito. If any of the cast members are caught taking selfies, they'll instantly lose their job. But selfies aren't just banned backstage. In fact, in the summer of 2015, Disney banned the use of selfie sticks all through the parks around the world. They made the decision because not only are they super annoying, but because they were becoming a huge safety risk. On June 24th, 2015, a guest busted out a selfie stick while on the California Screamin' Roller Coaster at the Disney California Adventure Park. The ride was immediately shut down and all passengers were evacuated due to what park management called a safety concern. Yeah, don't risk everybody's lives just so you can pose for a duck face. Why not just take the picture with Donald Duck later? It'll be way better, I guarantee it. Number 8 is Disney is a world all its own. In keeping with the no selfies rule, all cast members must remember that Disney parks are the only world that their characters are aware of. What this means is, as soon as the outfit is on, they must stay in character at all times. Which seems like a given, especially since they're interacting with kids who truly believe that they're meeting their on-screen heroes. But it's more than just a costume and a signature. For Disney cast members, when in character, nothing exists outside of the Disney universe. In other words, they're to have no knowledge of technology, famous actors, sport teams, popular brands, or even YouTube. Unless it's been in a Disney movie, it doesn't exist. But even if it shouldn't exist to them, the characters aren't allowed just to say, I don't know, and leave it at that. If you do ask them something from outside the Disney universe, they have to keep it vague and respond that they've never heard of it. Number 9 is picking up trash gracefully. As magical as the Disney parks may be, garbage still exists and there will always be some that doesn't make it to the trash bin. But worry not though, if there's a cast member around, it's actually part of their job to collect the rubbish and put it in the garbage themselves. Yes, you heard me right. Poor Cinderella can't catch a damn break. However, since these are magical creatures, princes and princesses that we're talking about, they aren't allowed to simply just bend over and pick up litter like the rest of us would. No, instead, they must gracefully scoop up the piece of garbage. Staying in character is incredibly important, and jobs like this don't change anything. Hey, at least the park is kept clean. Plus, as Mary Poppins said, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. Disney has, of course, tried to keep this to a minimum by ensuring that there is a garbage can at no more than 30 steps away at any point in the whole park. Oh gosh, is that a used diaper? I'd be happy to pick it up. And number 10 is unofficial burial grounds. This secret is only a little darker than the first. Not only does the Disney Corporation have rules against people participating in this particular act, they'd rather nobody knows it's ever happened. Since the Disney parks are so popular and beloved by millions, it only makes sense that some people would never want to leave. And I'm not just talking about a kid being like, hey mom, can we ride the teacups again? No, I mean I want to stay in the land of magic forever type of thing. That's right, many people have decided that after passing away, they want to have their ashes spread at the happiest place on earth. Several people have actually requested to have their ashes scattered in certain places in the parks, usually by their favorite ride or a body of water in a scenic part of the kingdom. But Disney, of course, has to reject these requests, but that hasn't stopped some devoted mourners from trying to dump their dearly departed in secret. Because of this, some staff members had to be trained on how to safely remove human ashes, and many rides even have filters placed appropriately so to remove any human particles from the air. Oh, that was creepy. Oh! So, those are secrets Disney theme parks don't want you to know. So the question of the day is, did you know about any of these?
Yeah, I know a few of those. Woohoo! God damn,
Some
that's...
girl named Yasmin Dahia put one of my songs on her Spotify playlist called Global Warming is Real, Let's Dance. Yeah, she's right. Global warming is real. Not really sure that dancing would be the solution, though. Wish dancing would fix global warming. It'd be a lot easier.
How far would you go for some prize money? There have been a lot of things that have been aired on television, some good and a lot bad, but on the bad end, some reality shows take it to a whole nother level. I still love you. The following reality shows actually exist, and when you find out what these people had to do and what was done to them, it's going to make Survivor look like a walk in the park. Here are 10 reality TV shows you won't believe exist. Number 1 is Dadagiri. Premiering on June 9th, 2008 in India, Dadagiri ran for 4 seasons and has been called the meanest show on Indian television. Described as a competition that requires physical strength, brains, and raw courage, the show took 4 ex-students and brought them, metaphorically, back to their first day of college, and it's just ugly. The show is complete with bullies who would torment them and ridicule them for being dumb, and insult their appearance and personalities, and even physically attack them. Every round, someone would be eliminated and then would be forced to eat disgusting meals like maggot, aroni, and cheese out of a toilet. But it was one particular incident that gained the show international attention, when a female challenger slapped one of the male contestants, who in turn slapped her back. Unfortunately for him, the crew of the show did not take too kindly to that, and they all rushed the man live on television and beat him on stage in front of all of them. Number 2 is the 90-Day Fiancé. Getting married is a, kind of a serious thing, so you better be sure you want to spend the rest of your life with that person. And obviously, you're going to take the time during the selection process to pick the right spouse of your choice. Nah, not these guys. Yeah, they got 90 days. The American reality series that premiered on January 12, 2014 called 90-Day Fiancé that aired on TLC involved several foreign people entering the United States on a 90-day visa, which does not quite sound legal. After they received their fiancé visa, they were then paired with a potential match, chosen by the producers, and then given the length of their stay to convince that person that they were the right match to marry. During their visit, the potential wives or husbands from overseas had to overcome some pretty big obstacles. These included language barriers with their partner, cultural differences, and the possible disapproval from their family members, which I'm pretty sure was going to be high. Oh, but don't worry, it's even, because Americans are sent to foreign countries with the same timeline and goal. Well, this game's just a big pile of nope. Number 3 is There's Something About Miriam. Filmed in Britain in 2003 and aired on February 22nd, 2004, There's Something About Miriam was a dating show in the same style as The Bachelorette, with a twist. Labeled by critics as the cruelest reality show idea yet, The program had 6 men competing to be chosen by Miriam, a 21-year-old Mexican model. Yeah, sounds great, except that what the men didn't know was that Miriam was a pre-operative trans woman. At the end of the season, the winner, Tom Rook, learned the truth about Miriam being born a man and that he'd been lied to. However, he accepted the money and the vacation with her as the prize. But unfortunately, after the taping, Tom, changed his mind a little bit and denied the prize, and not only that, but filed a joint suit against the producers with the 5 other men. The lawsuit cited a series of crimes committed against the contestants. These included psychological damage, defamation, breach of contract, and sexual assault. The Sky Network that aired this show opted to settle the matter out of court for an unknown amount of money and went ahead with the airing of the show anyway after its delay. Number 4 is Married at First Sight. Originally aired on July 8, 2004, Married at First Sight takes 6 single people, pairs them using advice from relationship experts, and has them meet literally on their wedding day. Without any time to know a thing about each other, the couples say "I do" and are literally legally married. Next, each couple spends their first night in a hotel, goes on a honeymoon, and then spends 6 weeks living together. At the end of the bizarre journey, they get to decide if they want to stay married or get divorced. Well, sure does speed up the whole settling down part of life, doesn't it? The show is based off a television show of the same name from Denmark. So if you think this show is messed up, you can thank the Danes. But what's possibly most surprising is that, believe it or not, 4 of the show's 12 couples are still married, with 5 of the couples rejecting the marriage at the end of the 6 weeks, and 3 couples accepting the marriage only to be divorced later on. Man, you don't play with marriage like that. That's a sacred institution. It goes against my beliefs and... Uh-oh. My triggers. Number 5 is Hurl. Aired in the U.S. between July 16th and September 19th of 2008, Hurl was an obstacle course mixed with a competitive eating contest. 5 players sit down and eat a mountain of food, and that's where it gets interesting. The first 2 to, hurl, are disqualified activities, including spinning and running around quickly. 2 more similar rounds occur until there is just one winner who clearly must have hated themselves by that point for ever wanting to compete at all. Yeah, I won, but oh, mama. So you might be wondering, what was the coveted prize that everyone was willing to experience extreme discomfort and possibly vomit for? Oh, well, it was $1,000. $1,000 cash prize. That's it. To add to the gross, if a player manages to swallow their, without spearing any of it, they get to stay in the game. In the end, the show only ran for 11 episodes. I wonder why. The show's nasty. I want to move on. Okay. Number 6 is Ready for Marriage. Though this reality show is definitely bizarre and a bit sexist to many people, at least the producers' hearts were kind of in the right place. Airing on Movie TV, a private television station in Zambia, one of the world's poorest countries, Ready for Marriage, or R4M for short, is a 16-week-long competitive program which takes 18 women who work in the sex trade industry and teaches them how to be regular girls. The teachings include cooking, cleaning, and overall how to be a good wife to someone. The lucky lady gets $9,000 in an all-expense-paid wedding. Now, R4M has received its fair share of controversy, as you may have guessed, mostly for the way that they explain a woman should act. But apparently, many women who participated appreciated the help turning their lives around. Of course, they may have appreciated it even more if they were actually taught a skilled trade in a professional occupation in order to get a decent job and earn financial independence. But hey, it's the thought that counts, right? Number 7 is bridal plastic. Many brides like to change the way that they look before their big day, dieting, exercising, and maybe even dyeing their hair color. But E! Network's unbelievable reality show Bridal Plasty took things so much further. On this competition program, 12 contestants who were either soon-to-be brides or recently married wives, some with kids already, competed to be the perfect bride and ultimately win a dream wedding and a complete plastic surgery makeover. Each week, one woman is sent home in a public voting session amongst the contestants after they participate in a series of elimination challenges. The winners of each challenge receive a ceremonial syringe as their prize, excluding them from the weekly elimination vote. The remaining women who survive the voting process receive a cosmetic enhancement from their wish list. And so on, the cycle looks like until it's all done and he gets to lift the veil. That's risky business, especially if you're already married. You might be lifting the veil to look red as Shrek. Number 8 is prize contest life. If you like The Truman Show, you might just love the real thing. Though, spoiler alert, instead of Jim Carrey, it's a naked man who doesn't know he's being live streamed. Running from 1998 until 2002, this Japanese program took the term reality TV to a whole nother level. Nasubi, a Japanese comedian, won a lottery at an audition for a job in show business. But unbeknownst to him, the job was actually a reality TV show challenge to win 1 million yen solely in mailed-in sweepstakes from magazines and radio ads. He was taken to a tiny apartment and told to remove all of his clothes. It was there that he agreed to spend time completing the challenge all by himself while he went about his daily routine completely naked. In order to survive, he used a phone, a radio, and postcards to win various sweepstakes, which provided him with food and other needed items such as toilet paper. In addition to winning the items to literally not starve, the value of each item went towards his 1 million yen goal. Oh man, this is just cringy. As if that wasn't enough, another thing unbeknownst to Nasubi was instead of everything just being filmed for a documentary style of sorts, it was, live streamed, and he became very famous. Number 9 is Man vs. Beast. Airing as 2 specials in January of 2003 and February of 2004, this Fox reality competition show pitted the fastest, strongest, and hungriest, and sometimes weirdest people against their animal counterparts. Bits of the show included a hot dog eating competition between a competitive eater and a Kodiak brown bear. Sounds safe. Then there was the tug of war between the sumo wrestler and the orangutan, and of course the obstacle racing track between the Navy SEAL and a chimpanzee. And despite all of that, the winners never even got a prize bigger than, well, bragging rights. That's because the show bombed in viewership and ratings, and animal rights groups heavily criticized the treatment of the animals involved in the competitions. Literally after airing of the 2nd season, the show was canceled and never saw a 3rd installment. I wonder what animal I'd be up against. Bald eagle. Bald eagle. Beat you to it. Beat you to it before you control me. In the comments. And number 10 is Kid Nation. Okay, we live in a world where sometimes adults in important positions make huge mistakes, and the consequences hurt many others. Well, apparently, CBS was sick of letting adults have all the fun and created the short-lived show Kid Nation. Originally aired between September 19th and December 12th of 2007, this 13-episode reality show took 40 kids between the ages of 8 and 15, placed them in a small private town in New Mexico, and allowed them to form their own society with little to no supervision. You can probably guess what happened. After 4 of the children drank bleach and another burned her face with grease, the show was canceled. Oh wait, no, it wasn't. It still continued. Yeah, this proved that you should probably never entrust the safety and good health of your kids to money-hungry television producers. They don't exactly have your best interests in mind. So, those were 10 reality shows that you now probably still can't believe exist. So the question of the day is, would any of you guys do any of the things...
No.
Why does dark energy cause anti-gravity? Is there an edge to the universe? And what lies beyond?
Yeah, you know that chart of the different layers of Earth you've been staring at since elementary school? Yeah, we're not quite sure that's how it really works. So my question is, if we haven't even learned enough of our own planet yet, why are we trying to fly out and invade others? And yes, I know this planet is like a one-bedroom apartment in New York City. We've abused it, and now we're having kids, so we need to move on. But until we do hitch up that huge intergalactic U-Haul, let's talk about what we know about what's inside our Earth for a second. Contrary to sci-fi movies like The Core, we have not actually reached that far into Earth. The best we've done, the deepest we've ever been, is in Russia on the Kola Peninsula, where there is a 7.5-mile deep hole that's deeper than the deepest point in the ocean, which, to put into perspective, is 6.8 miles deep. This hole is called the Kola Borehole, and is, if you can believe it, a man-made hole. So if you're wondering, why did people all of a sudden feel the need to dig a super deep hole towards the center of the Earth? Well, that's a good question. And to put it simply, it's competition. We all know that the US and USSR have been trying to compete with each other for ages, especially during the space race in which both nations try to outdo one another in terms of space exploration supremacy. But little do people know that the space race wasn't the only thing the US and the USSR were rivals over. In the late 1950s and 1960s, while competing who could explore outer space the quickest, the Americans and the Soviets were also competing on who could explore within the Earth the quickest. As a result, both nations planned separate efforts to drill into the Earth's crust, each with the goal of drilling the deepest hole in the world because apparently everybody in the government back then thinks they're 5 and on a beach. The American drilling project was called Project Mohole and was executed in the spring of 1961. The goal of the project was to drill into the Mohole-Robichich discontinuity, better known as the Mohole, which is the boundary between the Earth's crust and the mantle. The project wasn't so successful though, because just 5 years later it was cut short due to lack of funding. After that, well, I guess they just kind of gave up and let the Soviets win the drill race. The Soviets started their digging process in 1970, and with the help of the Interdepartmental Scientific Council for the Study of the Earth's Interior and super deep drilling, they were able to be much more successful and drill the deepest hole in the world, the Kola Super Deep Borehole. And by doing this, by drilling 7.5 miles downwards, they were able to make some breaking discoveries. One of the benefits of digging so deep into the Earth was that the Soviets were able to put geological theories to the test. One discovery made was that there isn't actually a transition from granite to basalt between 3 and 6 kilometers beneath the surface, as many scientists had originally thought. The basalt actually extended beyond the 12-kilometer point, which made scientists rethink their original theories about seismic deflection results. In other words, the Kola borehole led to the discovery that an entire layer of the Earth's crust doesn't actually exist. What's more, at around 4.3 miles deep, cracks in the rocks were found to contain water. This was an amazing discovery because no one expected water to exist at such great depths. It made researchers realize that the water inside the rock cracks were probably caused by hydrogen and oxygen atoms squeezed out and then retained below the surface because of the impermeable rock above. Finally, one of the most amazing discoveries made through the project was the detection of life in the form of microscopic fossils found in rocks that were more than 2 billion years old. From the fossils, researchers were able to find the remains of 25 different species of plankton. I guess they really did hit Bikini Bottom. Anyway, the discovery was very surprising because the fossils were surrounded by organic compounds that were very tough against the pressure and the temperature of the surroundings. Sadly, the Kola Super Deep Borehole project was halted in 1994 because of a variety of reasons. One reason was because it was just getting way too hot down there. The temperature at the bottom of the hole was a scorching 356 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the temperature where people get cooked. This was such a huge difference from the expected 212 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was almost unbearable for people to continue further. Not only that, rock density increased the deeper the hole was dug, resulting in greater porosity and permeability. In other words, it was like drilling through plastic rather than solid, which made it a very difficult operation. There are other hypotheses on why the drilling stopped. After the discovery of water within the hole, people started to believe that the hole was associated with the tale of Noah's flood, because it was believed that after the massive flood, all the water drained into subterranean sinkholes. Scientists previously questioned how the flood could have possibly existed if rocks weren't, full of holes, and that they didn't know where the water went. And because of this discovery, many people believe that this is additional proof that Noah's flood story was not merely a tale. And besides the whole flood thing, there were persistent rumors that scientists were getting scared, that they would drill through hell, and that they actually heard screaming from tortured souls. I mean, that would be my number one reason to stop drilling. Anyway, today, if you want to go into the hole, and I don't know why you would, it's not possible because it's now bolted shut and completely inaccessible. In fact, the whole area surrounding the hole is completely out of use. But you know what is really crazy? Although the hole seems to be extremely deep, if you look at it from a different perspective, the hole's entire depth is only deep enough to cover around 0.002% of the distance to the center of the Earth. So that means there could be a whole different world right under our feet. And even if we could trek to the center of the Earth, would you really want to? Who knows what we'll find? The alien-warded facilities, giant 5-headed monsters, and maybe even hell itself. venture out into space, maybe colonize another planet, but going down to the center of the Earth, I think I'll skip that. But let me know what you think. Would you go to the center of the Earth if you could? If, let's say, we have no idea what's down here, we don't know at all, we just have a way for you to go there, we can't promise that you'll come back, would you still go? Would you be a pioneer? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you later.
Arcade wizards who wish they could go back to when there were 8 bits and 2 buttons, run the show. 90s baseball is back. All new retro mode. Home run! Everybody loves the show.
Hello, today we're going to cover the topic of abandoned by Disney. When someone suggested this topic to me on the forums, I didn't know how to take it. But then I started looking into it and I was like, oh my god, this is horrible, this is creepy, people need to see this. So this is how a Disney area was back in the day. Very cool looking, very fun looking, right? No, 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 no. This horrifies me. Why does it horrify me? It's just creepy! Oh, it's so wrong. And then there's this. It's like a swamp now. That's cool. I'm affected on such a deep level by these images. Some of you are gonna get it, some of you are not. And this is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, and I've seen Schindler's List. No, but really. People used to slide down that. Ew. Oh my god, is that the old Disney castle? I think it's because it's my childhood. That's what it is. Disney was my childhood. So when you see it all dead and overrun, it makes you want to die. Rudolph the Black-Nosed Decapitated Deer. This actually isn't that bad. I mean, it's a little creepy. Can you imagine sneaking up here at night, climbing up those slides? It would be so fun. Until Slenderman got you, and then he could not eat you with his not mouth. This is an overgrown carnival of some sort. American Horror Story should have hit this place up. Just imagine all the fun heroes and goths could have there. So this is how it used to look. Super gross and dirty, but still, I guess, kind of fun. Now it's just sad and awkward. What even happened? How does the theme park just go out of business? Do people just stop wanting to have fun? It says abandoned by Disney Discovery.
What's up?
Looks like a great place for a prison X horror film.
Golly, your name is long. But what's up?
Like if the boat is floating, I can probably handle it. That's okay. But the moment that thing starts to sink, oh god. Especially when you look underwater and you see the boat just sitting there. You're like, ugh. So yeah, these half-sunken boats. Don't worry, kids. He's not dead. He's just sleeping forever. Why are movies not shot here? This is epic. I want to live in the house at the very end of the street. This is what the park looked like when it was all active and alive. And this is what the park looks like now. Inactive and super duper dead. Ugh. I hate it, but I kind of want to live there. This is the worst. You don't know what I'm talking about. You're looking at the before. Check this out. Look at that bottomless pit of despair and death. Oh, it looks like the inside of a sunken ship. I hate everything about this picture. Isn't decay fun and creepy and horrible and disturbing and awful? Jesus Christ. Not so happy anymore, are we, Mr. Clown? You're smoking toothless mouth, though. Not as the good old days.
I like it though.
I can't believe children ever rode you or felt any joy whatsoever when they were. Like a ride made by Satan. No swimming under bridge. How about no swimming at all? That's a swamp. Where'd the kids go? I think the alligator got. There's a theme park. Not a whole lot of joy about it, is there? Kind of looks like Russia. Death. Everything's of death in a dead park. I feel more like crying right now than I do talking. This thing keeps showing up for abandoned by Disney. Looks inverted. Let's fix that. Oh, way better. No. There's this ongoing thing of, hey, want to see my head come off? I'm guessing they're saying that because abandoned Disney parks really show you the reality of things. Nothing lasts if you don't keep it going. Oh, that doesn't look like the gateway to hell. Oh, I love the cool zone. Does it have zombies? I hope that's not a real rabbit. Did you kill a rabbit just for this picture? Shame on you. Disneyland is the happiest place.
Oh. Guess you. Then he leaves. Makes no sense.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not a new camera angle. Oh god. The other one was bad enough.
Can you imagine swimming in that? They should put that in a movie.
Huh, I guess Walt Disney really did hate Jews. If this is from a Disney park, that is no doubt a Hitler-mobile. Anyway.
I like unicorns, I think about them all day, but that doesn't make me gay. Me liking their dicks does. I love unicorn dick. I love unicorn dick. I love unicorn dick. I love unicorn dick.
Call that game a break. I just watched my childhood die. Anyway, you just keep being you.
Come and get shallow. That's it.
The mission's primary goal has been achieved. We're looking at the first proof of life on Mars. Look how fast it's growing. It's beautiful. Every single cell is a muscle cell and a nerve cell. All muscle, one brain.
This is some reanimator shit. Sure it won't hurt it?
There's a very, very low voltage.
Finland bans Donald Duck. There's an urban legend running around that Finland banned Donald Duck because he wasn't wearing any pants. The city of Helsinki was in financial troubles. So Mr. Markku Halopienen, a local Liberty Party representative, proposed the discontinuing of all Donald Duck comics. Word of this spread quickly and became known as the man who banned Donald Duck from Helsinki.
Ashes. In the 1970s, a mother asked permission from Disney to drop her deceased son's ashes in the Haunted Mansion ride. Disney declined due to health concerns, but the mother continued to do so anyways. This in turn caused the boy's ghost to haunt the mansion. Sometimes he is heard giggling, others say he is crying near the exits. He is even occasionally photographed.
Mr. One-Way. Mr. One-Way is the name given to a mysterious spirit that inhabits the queue at Space Mountain. It's rumored that he used to be a guest who tragically died on the Space Mountain ride back in the 1970s. Some say he's a friendly ghost, describing him as a large man with reddish hair and a red face. Guests have reported seeing Mr. One-Way getting into seats with people, but vanishing before the ride ends.
The Haunted Mansion. There's an urban legend running around that an early version of the Haunted Mansion ride was so scary that it frightened a man to death. This man was invited to preview the attraction, which caused him to suffer a heart attack and died. Because of this, Disney ordered the mansion to be toned down into what it is now. There's also reports of a 16-year-old girl with a pre-existing medical condition, who unfortunately met the same fate in 2014.
No one can die at Disneyland.